So anyway, Leann, I just want to again congratulate you on being chosen of our Women of Excellence.
Well,
As I said, you had some the people that nominated you just said some wonderful things about you, and so I am looking forward to our interview, my opportunity to kind of get to know you a little bit. I'm always so impressed with our women driver, our women in the driver's seat, and so I know you drive with your husband, James.
correct.
So can you tell me a little bit about how you got into driving and how long you've been driving?
Well, I worked for I worked for Hewlett Packard for 17 years, and I had a friend that was a owner operator, and I every once in a while I'd go on a little short run with him, and he taught me a few things about driving. And then I met Jim, and we got to know each other and kind of got into a relationship. And one thing led to another, and I left HP, and we got married, and I went into business with him. He had a small trucking company, and so I was in the office at the time. I was doing from everything that you do in the office. I was doing for 6 trucks. It was very small, but we were hauling lumber, redwood lumber, north and south in the on the off the California coast to Southern California twice a week, 6 trucks. And so I did I did the customer contacts, I did the dispatch, I did the payroll, I did the um, billing. I did all the stuff that happens in the office. And then we decided things changed in California, and they've gone terribly wrong in our opinion. But we ended up selling the company. Oh, and that's how I really learned how to drive, was just running with Jim on occasion in the truck that he was driving. And then we moved to Oklahoma. We sold that house and moved to Oklahoma, bought a cattle ranch. And I spent more time on the cattle ranch than I did in the truck at that time. But then eventually we ended up in the same truck together, and I've been running pretty much full time for probably 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
That's quite a career. How
Just
many
kind of
miles?
part time before that, but
Yeah.
we,
So
we
20
got rid of
years,
everything and just kept one truck. I'm sorry.
in 20 years, how many miles do you think you've driven?
Well, millions.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm sure it's millions.
Yeah, yeah. We've owned, I don't know how many trucks together, and every single one of them has gone well over 1 million miles. And the one we have now is a 2016 model, and it's almost at 1 million miles. So 200,000 miles a year isn't far off.
Yeah, that's a lot of miles and a lot of safe miles. So tell me, what do you enjoy about driving or being out on the road? What is it that you would enjoy about
Well, this is a beautiful country, and I've been in other countries. I've been in the Orient. I've been in Europe on business for HP. But this is a beautiful country, and the thing I like most about being out is seeing it. Um, it's just so many beautiful places, and you see a lot of you get a lot of different foods. You get to meet a lot of different people that some you can't even understand them. But it's funny, like in the deep South, you get into Louisiana, and I look at them like deer in the headlights, because some of them I just don't understand. But it's just seeing the different people, the landscape, just not having actually, and another thing is just not having to sit in the same place
that?
all day, every day, I think is probably the best. And you're out there and you're by yourself, and you're just not crowded by a lot of people.
Yeah. I know I've always said I think I might have some gypsy in my blood,
There you
because
go.
I love to travel, love to go places and see new things. And so
Well,
I
now when I get
understand
time
that.
off, though, all I want to do is come home. So
Well, you got a big project going on. You got to come home and see about it, check
that's,
on
that's
it.
right. That's right.
Yeah. And safety is priority one at Bennett. And I know earlier this year, you guys had a pretty traumatic experience.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know if you want to talk about that or not, but I know that you suffered some injuries in
Yes,
that accident. And one of the things that the people that nominated you all talked about was your courage and your strength and being able to overcome some of your injuries and get back out on the road and get back to driving. So would you like to share any of that with me or your thoughts about that?
well, I suffered 2 fractured cervical vertebrae, 6 and 7 in my neck, and I broke 3 ribs,
Good.
and I had a skull fracture.
Hmm.
So the the ribs were the worst part, believe it or not. You can't breathe, you can't cough, you can't sneeze, you can't move. That many ribs broken at one time. It was very painful, and they hurt for 4 weeks at least, and then they calmed down and it got a lot easier. But I was in a very rigid neck brace for 12 weeks, 3 months, and it was kind of in the beginning. After the accident, I didn't think I was really hurt until I got out of the truck and was standing out of the way, and all of a sudden I started getting kind of faint and my ribs started to hurt, and so they took me to the hospital and ended up life flighting me to Odessa, Texas. It was in Pecos. This happened, and they flew me to Odessa, and they didn't know for a day or so whether or not they were going to want to operate on my neck, but they decided after quite a few scans and X-rays that it would probably be okay with just keeping it immobile for 3 months, which felt like 3 years, as you can imagine.
I'm sure.
But I and the last visit to the doctor, I was ready to get out of that neck brace and get moving, and he released me, and the next day I got in the truck and we took off. So I took the neck brace with me, however, because it was kind of a crutch at that point in time, because my neck got very sore when it had to support my head without the support of the brace. So I wore it a little bit during the day, but it I don't know about courageous. I just it was awful, and I felt very bad.
And that's why I think it's after going through an accident like that, sometimes it's difficult to get back out on the road. And so
Well,
certainly think it was very, very courageous of you and that
I,
you were able to do that. And
I
do you
will admit that I was a little nervous for a while, and even now I look at oncoming traffic a lot more than I used to, but
want
there was nothing I could do. I just came up over an overpass and she was there, and
right?
it was just
Yes, it was clearly not anything that you guys could have done at the time. Um, so I wanted to ask you some other things. Can you give me some insights on maybe what it's like to be a woman out in our industry, in the trucking industry, as far as maybe we have a lot of women that are going to hear this interview. Is there anything that you would like to share with them?
well, if they're in a truck already, they probably know.
They probably know about all the challenges, don't they?
Yeah, they might know of a few more than I do, but
Yeah.
it's a difficult job. It's physically demanding. When you're not, I don't know what other women do, but I think when you're a flatbedder, you're out in the heat and the freezing rain and the snow and the ice, and it's it's harder than pulling a van. where you just open and close some doors. But it's still demanding in terms of just getting it down the road and keeping your logs legal and keeping your paperwork in order, and just in terms of services out there, I think the truck stops do a pretty good job of they've got nice showers and they've got decent bathrooms, and it's just it's a difficult lifestyle because you're not home and you can't just put your feet up, and it's just a different lifestyle, and it's demanding, and I think it does age you a little fast. It's not easy.
No, it's not always easy out there. Well, Leann, I've enjoyed visiting with you, and if you get through McDonough sometime, or maybe I'll be out in Joplin and I'll get a chance to meet in person.
That would be
Normally, we would, if we were not going through what we're going through right now, we would have hopefully had you come to McDonough, and we would have gotten a chance to meet you and gave you your award there. And but this year we're doing it, virtual, and so if you do get in McDonough, I hope I get a chance to meet you one day. And
me too. I'd like to meet you too. And I want to tell you, this is an honor. I feel very honored and very humbled by this whole thing, and I'm not used to this kind of attention, and so I'm very very honored. Thank you.
well, thank you, and we appreciate you being ACE's Women of Excellence. You certainly deserve this award, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you. And so, is there anything you would like to say in acceptance of this award to ACE, or to any of the other women that are out there that's going to be hearing this, and I'm sure being very encouraged by your story?
Well, I just want to thank the people that nominated me very much for having the faith in me that caused them to do this, and all the women out there know that it's hard, and everybody I think everybody probably deserves the same recognition. I mean, we all work hard for this company.
So, well, thank you. I enjoyed talking with you, and so I'll let you get back to your project of on your remodeling and
We'll do some yard work.
Yard work. Okay, back to yard work.
Yep.
So it was good to talk to you, Leann. You be safe and you take care of yourself. And I look forward to seeing you and meeting you in person one day.
Same here. Thank you very much.